Choosing your spouse is the biggest decision of your life. Get this wrong and you'll pay the price for it.
In my journey as a marriage counselor and also as a couple therapist, I have seen people make devastating mistakes when it comes to choosing a spouse. And that is why we are here to share these things in order to help you make the right choice of a life partner.
I want to ask, have you subscribed to our channel? If you've not, this is a good time to subscribe.
Yeah,
We need you
subscribe.
to subscribe so you can be informed when we make new videos. Click the notification icon bell and please like this video. And for all our subscribers already, thank you for being part of this family. So a lot of times people don't realize that a good marriage starts with the selection. You see, you can be a good person, but if you make the choice of marrying the wrong person for you, you are heading up for serious problem. Just the same way, if a team representing a country like football, for example, the team selection is not good. Now, the country can decide to fast all long and pray all through. And if I go to the football field and anoint all the chairs, anoint the field and the rest, you see, the likelihood of that team winning that competition is very low because they made poor selection. It's the same thing with marriage. You can have all the good home training. You can have everything to make a good marriage. But if you make the decision of marrying the wrong person for you, then just know that you're heading for serious troubles. And that is why we're talking about this today. So the first point we're going to give is, what is the person's perspective towards marriage? You see, we all have different perspective towards marriage. We all have different perspective that comes from maybe our family background, maybe the way we saw our parents' marriage worked or didn't work, or maybe our previous relationships. Some people, they've seen shege in previous relationships. So in their next relationship, they already decide, oh, more, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to love too much, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to let my spouse know I'm rich or something. So a lot of people come into marriage with different perspectives. So you want to ask yourself, what is this person's perspective towards marriage? So for example, some people have the traditional idea when it comes to marriage. You know, the way the man is head of the home, the man determines what happens. So the woman's life has ended by the time she enters the marriage, because the man can decide whether you work or not. There are some marriages that it's when the woman enters the marriage, it's not done on the woman. Your life, you don't have a silver in your life because you did not realize that this person you are marrying has a traditional perspective of marriage where they believe that the man determines everything. So the man tells the woman, go and close all your accounts from today. I'm going to give you the account to use, or delete all. I'm talking about real life examples. Delete all your contacts. You can't have male friends any longer. In fact, I will determine who you are. Or you can't go out at a certain time again. Or you quit your job. You're going to be a housewife. You're going to take care of my children. And that's the mindset, the perspective that person is bringing. So you must know the perspective of the person. You must know the family history. So somebody that's coming from a broken home is going to affect the person's mindset. Doesn't necessarily mean that the person's marriage is going to be bad, but there are certain things the person is going to be carrying into marriage. Some people, they will use that as a lesson to determine to have good homes, but some people, they will use it as the bedrock to continue that thing. That's why it seems like you see some families, you think that they are under a curse because the template they've been seeing is bad marriages, and they just replicate it because that's the way they see how the mother had to fight for the marriage and everything. So you need to know that. You need to sit down. Sometimes don't just take the person's word for it. Do your own research. Ask yourself, how was the father and the mother's marriage? How did the siblings? Do a lot of research. Find out his perspective from the way people talk, from his ideology, from the way he thinks about marriage. You must find. Let's just say, hey, he loves me, I love you. It's not enough.
And just to flow into what he just said, you have to let time reveal things. Give your relationship time. Don't be in a hurry to go down the aisle. Don't be in a hurry to say, yes, I do.
True.
Don't be in a hurry to get married. There are things that would not be evident immediately. There are things that it's over time. When you look at his relationship with his family, just like what he said, you look at the way he handles the relationships in his life, his friends, the way he treats people, and that requires time. Because I've had people, a lady was talking to me and she said, I feel like I was deceived into this marriage. Why? Because she feels like the person that is showing up in this marriage is totally different from the person that she dated. And in order to avoid you feeling like you were deceived into a marriage, take your time, do your research, let time reveal who this person is. and be attentive to details. Don't sweep things under the carpet. You'll notice, for instance, that he has road rage. You'll notice, for instance, that he can easily slap his siblings. You'll notice, for instance, that he shouts at everybody. He has his own business, and all his staff, from beginning to the end, he gives them a tough time. He's the kind of person that, he's very shrewd when it comes to money. You notice all these things, but because he opens the door for you, because he takes you to the finest place to dine, you ignore those things, and you're like, oh, he's a very nice person. Like I always say, a nice person is nice across board. So you must allow time. Give your relationship time. And one of the things I always advise, at the minimum, give yourself like 9 months. At the minimum, give yourself 9 months. Don't say you want to get married below that. At the minimum, and within that bracket, you are in counseling, because some things are revealed in counseling. Some questions and assessments are done, that it is in that place of counseling that those things come out. And that is why I tell people that, look, some premarital counseling sessions might lead to you saying, you know what, at this point I think we will not continue with these marriage plans, because both of you have come to a realization that you cannot live together. So let time reveal.
Very true. Don't be this kind of couple that the guy comes to the prophecy and said, the Lord said you are my spouse. Then 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, you guys are walking down the aisle. The third one I want to say is mutuality. You see, it takes two to tangle. You shouldn't be the only one doing all you can to make that marriage work. You are the one loving the most. You are the one pushing. You are the one doing everything. You are the one convincing. You are the one seeing all the vision for the marriage. You are the one doing everything. This person is just there like as if he's doing you a favor. No. It must be mutual. It must be mutual. Of course, there are times where you'll be doing more of the loving, then the next season the person might be doing more of the loving, but it must be mutual. So if you find yourself in a relationship and it's look like you are the one doing all the calling, the person is always giving excuses. I'm busy, I'm this. You are the one asking, but you did not remember my birthday. You are the one doing everything. Jack Bao.
And to just buttress what he said, this is why you must marry your friend. Marry your friend. Now, someone will say, oh, does it now mean that the people that have been my friends, so maybe a guy is saying, oh, this lady has been my friend for a long time, doesn't mean I have to marry her? That's not what we're saying. Start as friends. Let that be the baseline. Let that be the baseline. Even though, yes, there's attraction. When I met my husband, there was attraction. I was attracted to him. He was attracted to me. But one of the things we did was we built friendship. We were friends. And how do you know when someone is your friend? You're free with the person. You can share stuff with the person. You're not wondering whether, how is this person going to see me? I can't even remember feeling uncomfortable around him. I felt like I was talking to someone I had known for a very long time. We shared stuffs until today. That is still the way we are. I mean, we are everywhere together, not like 247, but then we do our lives together. Our lives are so into each other, because if I used to joke, you used to say for me, you're my best friend. And also what it has done is that it makes it easy for us to work out our differences and issues, so we don't allow it to fester, because we are each other's friends. And the same way, when you are not happy with your friend and this is someone that you shared deep things with, you want to quickly resolve it so that both of you can get back on track. So marry your friend. Don't just marry attraction. Don't just say, oh, I want to get married to this person because I feel this chemistry. Chemistry is good. I encourage it. You should marry someone you're attracted to, because that is also something to consider. But then friendship is what is most important, because when the passion and the bubbles in the tummy and the butterflies, all those things, it's not every time it shows up. When they are not there, what keeps you together is that friendship, that oneness that you have, which is built on friendship. So marry your friend, be friends, talk, be free. The moment you notice that you cannot be free with this person, that you have to hide certain parts of you, you cannot be yourself around this person, that is a red flag for you, because in marriage you have to be vulnerable. So why now continue into marriage if right now you cannot even be free with that person?
Very, very true, because you're going to spend the rest of your life with the person. So imagine you guys are not friends. You will just be like strangers in the same house. So the fifth one I'm going to talk about is accountability. You see, we did a video. I'm going to put a link and you can click the link to watch that video. We took our time to talk about accountability. You see, it's one mistake a lot of people make, as in really one mistake. They think that marriage is just me and you. I love you, you love me, that's all. Oh, you see, when people are in love, a lot of times you are blind to certain realities, because that's the power of love. When you love someone so strongly, you overlook a lot of things. I remember when we were dating, I'll go to the house, there's no food. I'll be like, who come now? Food I can't eat. You see, you overlook a lot of things, because at that point, you are seeing only the beautiful things about the person. When you guys are accountable to other people, you see, the third party or somebody else sees what you are not saying.
What you're not saying.
There are times where in counseling, people ask people questions like, didn't you see this? Was there nobody in your life that could have brought your attention to this? And they say, we actually had nobody, because they were not accountable to any person. You have parents, you have pastors, you have elders, siblings, people that should be there watching. I remember in our during our relationship, our pastor we're accountable to our pastor. He guided us not to do certain things, and it really helped us a lot. And even into the marriage, we're still accountable to him. There are times I would have made wrong decisions that she felt that decisions were wrong, but because I felt so strong about that decision, I was like, no, I must do this. I must invest. I must do that. And she's like, let's talk to our pastor. And we opened up to him, and he brought perspective that I wasn't seeing, because he has experience in marriage. You see, when family interference, siblings and the rest, and I also felt the same way, a particular way, she felt a particular way. We also spoke to our pastor, and he brought perspective. You see, you cannot do relationship alone. If you are with somebody and the person's involvement in your life is making you break all ties with all the people you should be accountable to, your parents, your siblings, your pastor, whatever, and like, no, I don't like this person. No, this person is getting too involved. This man, everything. It's a big red flag.
It is.
It is one red flag. A lot of people have turned to rapper and they tied on themselves. Later in marriage, they now realize that, they made the biggest mistake.
Honestly.
You cannot make a decision to get married to somebody that is not accountable. In fact, there was somebody recently, and you notice that there's nobody that could talk to the person. If for several people, the question is, if there's nobody that can talk to the person, what do you want to do? God will not come down and talk to the person. You need somebody that will be able to talk sense into your spouse's life. So the person must have people in reverse. People that if you say, I'm going to go and report, or the person calls him, he will sit up.
Yeah.
He will sit up.
Yeah. And this is very important. I really just hope that you're taking, if you are right now in that place of decision, in that value of making those decisions, I hope you're taking note of these things, because they are very key. And that is also where this next point comes, prayer. See, let me tell you the truth, There's the science of relationship and marriage, trust me. There is, and that is one of the things that we push. But there is also the kingdom, the spiritual side of marriage and relationship. God knows us more than we know ourselves.
Yeah.
The person that you are saying you want to get married to, what you have is what he tells you or what she tells you. What you have is only what you can see with your physical eyes. There are some things that it's in that place of prayer that God will tell you that, look, this person, don't bother. And I've been there before. I've been in relationships where I was so sure this is the one. But God said no. I remember at least like 2. And God said no. And the moment God told me no, I lost my peace about it. When I met my husband, can I share that? When I met my husband, I'm sure in one of our videos, he had talked about it, because he didn't get into university on time. So he spent like 6 years at home. So by the time I met him, he was just wrapping up. It was just 7. And me, I'd finished school 6 years prior. I'd served 6 years prior. Now, every other person around me didn't have that detail. And when I met him, on a good day, that's supposed to be a concern. I'm just meeting someone who is just trying to start up his life and all of that. Ideally, by that time, I should be talking about somebody that already, is set and everything. But I will be very honest with you. I had my peace about him that I can't even explain. That I didn't even see those things. It wasn't an issue. It was not an issue. Why? Because whenever I prayed about him, God always told me everything would be fine. I told God, I said, God, just give me a word. And God gave me that word. And he said, though your beginning may be small, which means that when you guys start off, it might not be rosy. He said, but your latter end will increase. And that was all I needed to hear from God. And that held me. I held on to that word, and it was an anchor for me. And today, I am grateful 1,000,000 times. Because God told me, said for me, this person that is coming into your life is going to be a strong support system for you. And that is what my husband has been to me. To be honest, I tell people I'm able to be me because of him. He makes it easy for me to be me. I don't struggle to do the things I do because he is a major support system. Even to these things that we are doing. Prayer. Don't just handle your relationship on the surface. Don't just look at things from the natural perspective. Don't just say, oh, he's so nice, he's kind, she's nice, she cooks well. Bah. Don't look at those things alone. What is God saying about this person? What is God saying about your relationship? What is he saying about your future together? Because at the end of the day, when push meets shove, it is that word that you will remember. It is that word you must fall back on. Because life will test you. Even your own heart will test you. Things will happen that will make you wonder that did I make the right choice? But it is what God says. So pray. The Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, including relationship. Because most of the time we think God is only interested in our just that spiritual side of us. God is interested in every aspect of our lives, especially your marriage and your relationship, because connection with the wrong person can ruin you. So prayer is very key. Pray about that person and pray about your relationship together. So in line with all that we have shared, one of the ways you can also help yourself to make that informed decision is to sign up for premarital counseling. See, before you talk about booking a hall for wedding, buying your wedding dress or buying that shoe,
even before
introduction, invest in premarital counseling. Yes, invest in it so that you can make better decisions. There are things that the session will bring out for you, and that is one thing I'm passionate about, because if you can get it right at that stage, your chances of having a better marriage is high. So sign up for premarital counseling. Don't push it to later. Don't say, oh, we don't have the money, we don't have the time. Create the time out of no time. And thank God we live in a virtual world now. So you can have virtual sessions. Please, I'm begging you, so that you don't get into that marriage and you are wondering what could have been done differently. This is something you can do differently. Sign up for premarital counseling.
So much you've said, and I hope you've been blessed by it. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, please feel free to subscribe. Drop your comment. I appreciate this by just saying thank you. And it's encouragement to what we're doing. It takes a lot of time and effort, resources to pull this together. So a word of encouragement, thank you, will go a long way. Then feel free to share this video. You have friends, you have people that you know that if they know some of these things, they will do right, they will do better. So share this video, put it up on your status, do what you need to do for more people to hear. And for all our subscribers already, thank you for being part of this family. God bless you, and we'll see you in our next video.